staying with the narc will kill you. Yes, it absolutely will. You guys probably already knew this, but if anybody didn't already know this, yes, staying with that narc for whatever reason, if you're addicted, if you feel bad for them at times, if you really don't believe they're demonic, you really don't believe there's a demon inside them, or if you believe the demon can be taken out or whatever, that they can be healed, that they can change. Well, I just want to let you know right now, narcs don't change. Narcs can't be changed. They cannot be saved. They cannot have the demon taken out of them, unfortunately, through like a exorcism or anything like that. Nope, they're not changing. They don't want to change. They have picked their side. They are working for that demon, honey. They are working for that devil. So anyways, quick lip gloss application. Love this lip gloss. It smells like coffee too. Anyways, back to the point. That narc will kill you if you stay with them. Slowly but surely. We all know when you're with a narcissist, you're always walking on eggshells. You're always nervous. And when they don't get their way, or if you ever say no, or even if you don't say no, if something doesn't go their way and they need to regulate their emotions, we all know that narcissists don't have the ability to regulate their emotions. They need you being their personal toilet paper to help them regulate their emotions. They need arguments with you to help regulate their emotions. So when they have yet another rage, narcissistic rage, go into an angry bout of yelling and screaming, that affects your body. I don't care if you are the most calm, down-to-earth person that just really knows how to handle angry, aggravated, riled up people. Even if that is the case, and my hat goes off to you, because I consider myself that kind of person as well. Even if that is the case, those rages affect you. And when we leave, we even have slight PTSD from it. It makes us nervous. Our whole body gets anxious. Our heart beats faster. And the narc wants to do this to us. They want us, they're in such torment all the time in their brains. Their brains are in such constant torment and in such a dark place that they want us to suffer as well. They actually want us to suffer more than them. They feel like if I have to suffer by going through what I'm going through, this mental anguish of Satan and the demon being in my mind, then how dare you get to be over there happy and healthy? Because they know that we're tapped in with God. Us empaths, we're tapped in with a higher power. We have the ability to refill our energy tanks through God. God is our source. So because the narcs know that we have God and we are filling ourselves back up, they're looking over at us with envy and jealousy. They are working for that other side, that side of Lucifer. So yeah, their mission is to take us out. You will die. This is spiritual warfare. And in wars, some people live and some people die. It's spiritual warfare. Like when the war broke out in heaven, Lucifer was filled with shame when he was kicked out of heaven. He fell down to the earth like a strike of lightning. God sent him down to earth. And he was subject to worldly ways of the world. And that's why this world is so jaded like it is. But which can sadden us to know that that's the world that we're bringing our kids into. But we have the power to choose what side we're fighting on. That's all we have the power to do. We have control over ourselves and what we do and don't allow in. And we have the power to decide whose side we're going to fight on. Are we going to be on God's side or are we going to be on Lucifer's side? And this has already happened. So actually, a lot of us souls that are already over here, God already knows and remembers which souls already fought on his side before he brought us here and which souls fought on the other side. And he already knows that it's most likely going to be the same thing in the flesh. Some people might switch sides and come to his side. They have that free will. They have that power to become, as long as it's genuine. You know, there's so many people who claim that they are great Christians and claim to be church people, And if it's not genuinely in them that they're talking to God, they're not. It doesn't matter if they're in the church every Sunday. It doesn't matter if they tell everyone. That's just for looks. God knows the people that are really his people and the people that are not. There are people that are church people that are not God's people, and God knows it. And he says, well, I hope you're having fun, but I know you're not really paying me any attention. Hey, I'm over here. But you can go look, you can pretend to be God's people, but I'm here and you're over there and you don't talk to me. Or you don't even try to make an effort when you're behind closed doors. Or when you do, it's not for the right reasons. And it's not because you really want a relationship with me. It's because you need something or because you just did somebody dirty. Like, God knows our hearts. He knows our hearts and our intentions. And that's all. That's at the core of everything. That's all that really matters. So he knows who's really locked in with him or who wants to start getting locked in with him. That's fine too. You don't have to be perfect already. And we know this. God knows we're not perfect. But as long as you know which side you're fighting on, that's all that matters. And some people unknowingly, by not choosing God, like they say, everything is very black and white. By not choosing God, you've chosen your side. So some people, just by keeping certain people in their lives, or just by not getting it together and starting to talk with God, just by not speaking to God, you have chosen your side. Because what's just like that saying says, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. The devil has free reign to enter into anything that has not been illuminated by God's light. So when you run to God and you choose God, you protect yourself from Satan getting to you. Because one thing that we know about dealing with narcissists is that, I don't know if you guys could tell, but I definitely could tell. Most of us can. You guys probably can. When you're dealing with a narcissist, it is terrible. It is the worst thing you'll ever go through. I mean, the rages, the cycle of, and then once you go through the cycle enough times, the good times aren't even really good. And when you think back, they never really were good. But they're better than the abuse. Like, there's a period of time in every cycle where you guys are not arguing and there's no abuse, because they want to give you time to kind of refuel again, because they know you're the empath. Go back to your source, go back to God, refuel, and then come back so I can deplete you some more of your energy. Well, even though that's the case and they take us through so many bad times, we can still almost tell that although they believe they're giving us their worst, we can tell that we're stronger than them. And they don't really know it. They don't really know that we're stronger than them. All they know is that I keep trying to destroy this person and I keep throwing balls of fire at them and it's not taking them out. Because a lot of narcissists, they're the very ones that pretend to care about us. Oh, I'm just calling to check up on you. Oh, I just want to make sure you're taking your medication. A lot of the times, depending on how long you've been with this person, you're on that medication because you stayed with them. And they know it. They're never going to admit to what they're doing to us. But they know that the arguments and all of that can't be good for our health. So they love to sit and wait for our health to deteriorate. They love to ask, did you go to that doctor's appointment? Because they're excited to see their damage. They want to see the work they've done on you. They want to kill you. They will kill you. This is important. This is spiritual I can't speak today. Satan didn't want me to say it. This is spiritual warfare. If you do not get out, you will die, because these people want to report back to their leader, Lucifer, Satan, and tell them that they successfully destroyed you. And I don't care how good your intentions are. It doesn't mean that God will never leave you. God will never reject you. But if you don't choose him, he gave us free will. If you don't choose him, that was your choice. So, and I don't even want to make this super Christian-y, but just know, when you don't choose a side, the devil is out here working overtime, and they want you on their side if you don't choose a side. Because I'm not going to lie, before I met my narc, I kind of called myself Christian, but I wasn't really talking to God the way I should have been. And I really consider myself, at that time when I met my narc about 4 years ago, I was really in the middle where you could go either way, because you're not really talking to God enough to be considered Christian, and you're not completely saying you're against God, but it could go either way. You could go with the devil, or you could get more in line with God's word. So that's what made me subject to, I didn't have any protection, so that devil could infiltrate and get into my life. The narc got into my life because I wasn't protecting myself with God's word and God's light. A person who protects themselves with God's armor scares these people off quickly, because these are low grade, bottom feeder type people, these narcs. So most of the time when somebody's really locked in with God, they have self-worth, they have self-confidence, and they don't even want to really speak with somebody who's confident and has self-worth. They need somebody who's doubting themselves constantly and is a pushover. And for those reasons, sometimes they go to like the fake Christians, or what they perceive. I'm not saying that person's a fake Christian. They might legit be locked in with God, but the narc's perception of the person is that they're a fake Christian, because they're thinking, if you were a real one, you would have noticed that I'm a demon. But sometimes we just are so naive and thinking everybody's good people. And they think that all Christians are probably going to be naive and thinking that everybody's a good person. Let me help this person out, no matter what they've done to other people. Some of the narcs want to mock and play Christians because they think that it's laughable that you don't